And we are underway with our heat number 5 of the Women's Open Steeplechase. And this group just a little smaller, so it looks like maybe we had some scratches going into our 5th and final section of the Open Steeplechase at this year's Bryan Clay Invitational. Again, named after the Olympic decathlon gold medalist. And he competed collegiately here at Azusa Pacific. Bryan Clay back in '08.
That's Rachel Crytser for Air Force, the senior, out to the early lead. She comes in with a season's best of 10:22, run the other weekend at the Stanford Invite. Last year, she was 3rd in the steeplechase at the Mountain West Outdoor Championships. So definitely comes in with a lot of steeplechase experience, hoping to get that PB down below 10:16, which she ran at the NCAA West preliminary round last year. This is a competitive one out front.
Side by side coming through the end of the first lap of barriers and water jumps.
Grace Gilbreth, a junior at Montana State, running on the inside, challenging for that lead. She's coming off a 10:20 PB in the steeple at the Stanford Invite. Lots of people stopped over at Stanford before coming out to Bryan Clay.
Again, 2 venues that historically have had great weather conditions and also tremendous distance races. So front 5 separated by a handful of strides, but the lead 2 side by side. Crytser and Gilbreth down the back straight.
Gilbreth for Montana State also coming off a nice 1500 PB of 4:35. So she's probably feeling pretty good about her speed right now.
So our 2 front runners definitely have the wheels to take over the overall lead from Megan Johnson, the D3 runner from Central College, that 10:19. And we saw 2 races ago. And this one has been a battle up front that has stretched the field out. So Sega Hagelin in the number 3 spot. And then jumping back to Stanford's Riley Stewart, she is sitting 4th. And those first 4 runners separated almost evenly by a stride or 2. They are working lap number 3 with the barriers, with Gilbreth from Montana State in the lead.
Hagelin for Weber State coming off her own PB, 10:21 in the steeple from the Mike Finelli Track Classic 2 weekends ago. Also a nice 1500 PB of 4:30. So these women are pretty evenly matched when you're looking at their best recorded times.
Four to go at 4:42 on the clock for the young lady from the Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs. And she has her biggest lead of the race thus far. Not that much, about 6 meters. Take a look from the drone up and over barrier number 2.
Okay. Okay, sao? You know that, huh? Ay, tao na na.
Still, it is Crytser from the Air Force Academy leading that margin between first and second, almost 10. With Gilbreth still in second, 6:05. So for the final 3 laps, they have about 4:13 or so. If they can finish that just less than 1,200 meters in that amount of time, they will take the overall lead in our first individual race of this year's Bryan Clay Invitational. Phil Grove, Old School Track, and JoJo Gretzel bringing you all the action, and JoJo's going to have the opportunity to talk to some of our winners this weekend in the marquee races, the invite sections, and we will get that rolling in not too long of a time with the men's invitational steeplechase winner, and the women's, then the 10Ks later on tonight. Nice look from up above of the water jump. It's coming up on the 6 o'clock hour on the West Coast, as Rachel Crytser from Air Force still leading, but not giving up the chase. Grace Gilbreth from Montana State, 2 laps to go at 7:32. And Megan Johnson still our leader at 10:19. One of her teammates, Caroline McMartin, is in this field. And Caroline, as we get a new leader, she is sitting in the number 6 position. But that new leader is Grace Gilbreth from Montana State.
Big move. Cryster's still hanging on.
But they have separated themselves from the rest of the field. The gap between second and third is 20 plus meters. Another water jump attempt. And through that are 2 leaders. Oh, and actually missed the water jump. That is Gilbreth. She's got to go back. I was looking for the splash because there are tents in the way. Somehow she missed the water jump. And oh, that is going to be painful when this race is over. And it definitely has thrown the race now into the hands once again of Rachel Crytser from Air Force.
Oh, that's brutal.
And Emily Jobs from Boise State now in the number 2 spot. Can she challenge? It's just at 9 minutes. Oh, that one's good. Oh, that is going to last for a long time, unfortunately.
You don't see that happen too often.
No. Especially this late in the race, maybe the first water jump, but exactly what would happen with her sight lines as a 3-runner battle now. They have just 2 barriers and 1 water jump. As Emily Jobs from Boise State, just a couple strides behind her Rocky Mountain foe, Rachel Crytser from Air Force. The 2 going into the water jump, separated by 3 strides. Splashes and through. And now the run out to 1 more barrier, 30 inches tall. And a stutter step up and over. And running out to victory, Rachel Crytser from Air Force. And just going to miss taking that overall lead at 10:22 and change. It's like 10:22-28 for our winner. So the new national lead, Megan Johnson, holds up as the top time in the open section of the women's steeplechase. As the rest of this field wraps up their 3K event, and they will